There exists a 400-year-old Japanese method that helps anyone break free from laziness without effort, without motivation. And almost no one in the modern world knows about it. You know that moment when you're sitting in front of your to-do list, fully aware of what needs to be done, yet your body refuses to move. That heavy, stuck feeling? Here's the surprising truth. This isn't laziness at all. Modern neuroscience reveals that what we call laziness is actually a self-protection system built into the brain. But what's even more fascinating is that long before science explained this, the ancient samurai of Japan had already mastered a way to bypass this mental blockade. They called it Kyojutsu, a philosophy based on a subtle dance between truth and illusion. It allowed warriors to transform even the hardest challenges into smooth, almost effortless actions. And today, you're going to learn how to use this same principle so you never need to rely on motivation again. But before we continue, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and activate the bell so you never miss content like this. The real reason you feel lazy. Think about it. You're never lazy when it comes to things you enjoy. Scrolling on TikTok for hours? No resistance. Watching 7 episodes of a series in one sitting? Easy. Playing your favorite game for 5 hours straight? Zero effort. But the moment you try to study, work out, focus on your job, or start that life-changing project, suddenly everything feels heavy. Your body tightens, your mind throws excuses, and you feel lazy. But the problem is not you. According to researchers at Stanford University, procrastination isn't a time management problem. It's an emotional management problem. Whenever your brain connects a task to stress, discomfort, boredom, or fear, it activates a defense mechanism. That mechanism is what we label as laziness. But do you know who understood this centuries before Stanford? The samurai. And that's where Kyojutsu enters the picture. The samurai. Code. Kyojutsu. Word Kyojutsu comes from 2 concepts. Kyo, illusion. Disguise, false appearance, jutsu, technique. Reality, truth. Together, they form a strategy. Overcome resistance not by force, but by creating a psychological illusion. That removes the struggle. Samurai rarely attacked an opponent directly if it put them at a disadvantage. They used misdirection, angles, subtle movement, and strategy, making the enemy defeat himself. Now here's the twist. Your biggest opponent isn't laziness. It's the way you confront it. If you try to fight your resistance head on, you lose. But if you understand where that resistance comes from, suddenly the wall becomes a doorway. A Harvard researcher explains that the human brain isn't designed to seek effort. It's designed to save energy. So the moment your brain senses a task will drain too much energy, it activates resistance. The 3 types of resistance. According to Kyojutsu, samurai believed all inner resistance comes from 3 sources. If you identify which one is affecting you, you can break any mental block. 1. Method resistance. This happens when the way you're trying to do the task doesn't match your natural style. Examples. You think better on paper, but force yourself to type. You learn better in silence, but try to study with music. You need visual structure, but your notes are chaos. It's not laziness. It's the wrong method. 2. Time resistance. Maybe retrying to work at a time when your energy naturally dips. Your body peaks in the morning, but you're forcing yourself to work at night. Or you're a night thinker trying to operate in early mornings. Your internal clock matters more than you think. 3. Purpose resistance, the strongest. This is when your brain simply rejects a task because it's not aligned with what truly matters to you. That task you've been avoiding for months? Maybe it shouldn't even be on your list. A study from the University of Melbourne showed that 79% of people drop personal projects not because they lack discipline, but because the project is disconnected from their inner purpose. You're not lazy. You're out of alignment. the samurai technique that destroys procrastination. Most fascinating part is that the samurai had a technique so simple yet so powerful that it made procrastination almost impossible. A technique that applies to any task, any goal, anyone, and it starts before any action. The secret: strategic positioning before facing an opponent. A samurai's first move was always the same: prepare the field. Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest Japanese swordsman, sighed, "Victory belongs to those who prepare the ground." Here's the truth no one tells you about discipline, productivity, or motivation. You don't fail because you're weak. You fail because you enter the battle unprepared, mentally, emotionally, and strategically. You fail because your battlefield is already rigged against you. Let me give you a simple example. If your work environment is full of distractions, your phone vibrating, YouTube open in another tab, notifications constantly flashing, your brain ends up using more energy resisting distractions than actually doing the task in front of you. But the moment you clear your space, remove the noise, leave only the essentials in sight, put on background music that helps you focus, even fix your physical posture, suddenly the task that felt heavy begins to flow. And no, this isn't magic. This is neuroscience. This is applied Kyojutsu. You don't need to force yourself when the environment is doing half the work for you. Studies in neuroarchitecture show that messy, overloaded environments increase cortisol, the stress hormone, by up to 32% and drastically reduce your ability to focus and make decisions. Now grab a pen and paper or save this video, because what comes next can literally change how you take action for the rest of your life. The samurai used a method on the battlefield that you can use today in everyday life. A method with 5 simple steps. Write them down. 1. Conscious observation every time resistance hits. When you feel that urge to procrastinate, delay, or escape the task, pause. Breathe. Observe your body. What do you feel? A tight chest? Neck tension? A sudden impulse to open Instagram? Just becoming aware of the sensation already breaks half of the resistance. 2. Resistance. Translation: now ask yourself, is this resistance to the method? Resistance to time? Or resistance to purpose? Your answer determines the strategy. If its method gives, change how you're doing the task. If its time gives, adjust when you're doing it. If its purpose gives, then maybe this task shouldn't even be in your life. Point 3. Strategic environmental designness. Step is basically a declaration of war against distractions. Remove everything that doesn't help you. Put your phone on airplane mode. Use sight blockers. Wear headphones. Keep only what you need on the table. Your environment should be subtimus that working becomes easier than procrastinating. 4. Minimum viable action. If you tell your brain, I'm going to study for 3 hours, it panics. But if you say, I'm just going to open my notebook and write 1 sentence, resistance disappears. The trick is simple. Make the first step so small that it's impossible to reject. Starting is 80% of the battle. 5. Cultivate flow once you start. Keep the rhythm. Use cycles of 25 to 35 minutes of deep focus, followed by short breaks. Avoid long pauses. Those are the cracks where procrastination sneaks back in. Track your progress. Seeing movement activates a natural motivational loop. Research from the Journal of Applied Psychology shows that people who use short work cycles like the Pomodoro technique are 42% more likely to complete complex tasks than those who force themselves into long, unbroken work blocks. And here's the part almost everyone misses. The real power of Kyojutsu is not making you work harder. It's making you work lighter. When you master this method, you'll release something surprising. Productivity is not about stress, pressure, or force. It's about alignment. Most people spend their entire lives trying to win a battle where the terrain is already against them. But what if, instead of fighting the battlefield, you change the battlefield? What you learned today is not just another productivity hack. It's a new way to understand yourself. You are never broken. You were never lazy. What you called laziness was simply a signal your brain telling you that something was out of alignment. And when you learn to listen to that signal, understand it, and use it, movement becomes natural again. Effort stops being a burden. And what once felt like a constant internal war turns into clarity. Lightness and direction. Change never begins with a giant leap. It begins with a micro step, a pause, a single adjustment in your environment. Repeat these small actions daily, and you create a new rhythm. A rhythm where you act not out of force, but out of clarity. Not because you have to, but because your own path starts pulling you forward. So now I'll leave you with one question. What is the first micro step you will take?